Have you heard of Smersh? It was the name of a Russian counter-espionage organization which originated during the Second World War and was responsible for maintaining security within the Soviet armed and intelligence services. Interestingly, the name Smersh was coined by Joseph Stalin himself. In English, it meant death to spies. Stalin formed this body to combat German spies infiltrating the Soviet military. But within months, the organization quickly expanded its mandate. It started finding and eliminating any subversive elements. In the early novels of Ian Fleming, who wrote extensively about this group, by the way, Smersh agents were depicted as cold-blooded and steadfast foes of James Bond. Fleming drew from his experiences as a naval intel officer to create a version of Smersh, a version where operatives would basically fight dueling spies like James Bond. But in reality, the group was focused on rooting out traitors and foreign agents within the Soviet ranks. Now, why am I telling you all of this? Because Russia has now revived this very body. It has relaunched this counter-spy agency in parts of Ukraine. These are primarily regions that are under the Kremlin's control. Which regions are these, you ask? Mainly parts of Donetsk, Kherson, Luhansk, Zaporizhia. These areas are under illegal occupation of Russia after a 2022 referendum. Many Western countries, led by the US, have called the move illegal. How do we know this? Because a Russian parliament member recently spoke about this. His name is Andrei Gorolyov. He is a deputy of the 8th State Duma and a former deputy commander of the Southern Military District of the Russian military. This is what he said during an appearance on a Russian state television. Let me quote, "We talked about Smersh today. We created a department that works in approximately the same way in new territories. Today, they are trying to interfere with our operations in non-frontline areas. I talked to the Far East, where we have nuclear submarines and where our ships are based. They may also be in danger, so we need to approach protection issues a little differently." Why did Russia revive this body? Because it fears attacks by saboteurs, especially on the railway systems, warships, and its atomic submarines. The Russian minister basically pointed towards an instance in late November when there was an explosion in a tunnel on the Baikal-Amur main line. This is a Russian railroad which links the Trans-Siberian line to the Pacific Ocean. Ukrainian media claim that Kiev's military intelligence wing was responsible for this explosion. This is what the Russian minister had to say about this further. I'm quoting, "A fight against saboteurs and spies is necessary across the whole country. After all, war has come back to bite us across the entire territory of the Russian Federation. Captured agents should toil for life in remote penal colonies." So, what exactly is this body doing? The website of Kharkiv Human Rights Protection Group says that it is catching Ukrainian operatives, torturing them, and forcing them into confessions and apologies. It says sometimes Ukrainians are detained merely for displaying a Ukrainian flag or other Ukrainian symbols. Now, here's the thing. This entire story evokes the ruthlessness and paranoia of a different age. Decades ago, the Soviets used Smersh to mop up Nazi spy rings targeting the Red Army. And today, this body is making a slow return to fight scheming Western spies. So the next time a covert Ukrainian or NATO operation fails, they would know who was behind it. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the updates on the move.